Kevin Rahr. Here we go, the national.
He did, and then in 2020 we were supposed to do it again in Atlanta before COVID brought everything to a close.
From the left wing, an early three-ball misfire.
As a sophomore, that's the scary thing about this Mary Washington team. Everybody comes back next year.
Ben Pierce with off target.
You have to be careful. We got Eagles v. Eagles today.
Jair Knight, this kid is something special. The most athletic player in Division III. Mario Awasam from the keyhole raises a.
He can be kind of the unknown, and when he sat for a few minutes in the first game against Illinois Western, you saw the difference.
That game means that everybody had a large window to figure out their travel plans on this holiday weekend. We've got a great crowd on hand as Pierce can time it on the baseline and then turn it over. Faust raises from the same spot and is off target. Burgess from the elbow finds Caden Bates circling around, couldn't control it with the right hand. Concept.
Well, the other thing is Pierce rises up, misses it long. Awesome with a big rebound. Another big key.
Knight from way downtown, right on.
Advantage of having 3 games here today is you don't get the time on the floor ahead of your big day.
Robinson to the free throw line where Randall missed 5 straight national semifinal berths for Coach Cosgrove and the Bantams. But the defending champs knocked out Caden Bates. Mary Washington, about 50 miles south of Washington, D.C. In Fredericksburg, Virginia. Robinson hits on the baseline. Ben Pierce from Tuckahoe, New York. He has had the ball in his hands, leading this program from day one as a freshman. Now year, he's been a huge player for this Emory rotation that includes.
But you know what? UAA teams seem to always pick talent out from the backyards of so many good schools. And there's a great example, picking talent out of the SCIAC.
Unlike two really prolific offensive groups as they find Burgess rejected.
Great long arms.
Faust gets a little lucky. You know the saying, defense travels, as Faust raises 4-3 in the corner. 5th offensive board of the game for Emory.
Second chance points. That's not what Mary Washington wants to give up.
Awasam goes to work, spins it off the.
Won this season, but you don't want to give up second chance opportunities like the Eagles just did for the Eagles.
Colin Mitchell from the corner.
+%. He gets rolling. He is going to be tough to stop from outside.
Otto swings it over on the loose ball. Harris clanks it off the Coast Conference. 11 straight wins coming in. Takeaway here. Jay Randall wants to take flight, and with 2 hands puts it home. Shooter Ethan Faust. He almost turned it over. Here comes Mary Washington. Salvador gives it off. Hamad at the rim, no.
Probably settle in. Things will maybe turn, but Mary Washington's making it hard for him.
Second team All-American this year. First team All-American last year. And I mentioned
getting a lot more attention if he didn't have a teammate in Pierce, and the two of them have stuck it out together.
Good find underneath to White. They swing it to the corner. Salvador's on the money. Another Virginia kid on this UMW roster. As Knight goes to work on White. Up and underneath. Couldn't spin it home.
It's that defense just making it chaotic. And Emory, as much as they've got 15 days to prep for it, are struggling.
Knight, it looked good. It's just time to shine. We've seen the Christopher Newports, the Randolph-Macons, the Hampton Sydneys over the years. UMWs.
Appreciated. And you mentioned 3 schools. There's even more. Roanoke has come.
Thought about hitting. By the way, we have another substitution on the floor. Owen Pottenberg, sophomore out of Jacksonville, Florida. Burgess from a long way out draws a whistle. Cool story for this young man. Jaden Burgess was with his family. He's playing in the Division III National Championship game across the street from where he wanted very well at Radford back in the day.
Great young man. Every time it's the epitome of D3. It's also epitome of 2 coaches who want to do best for their guys. It's more than what's happening on the court.
Faust never saw. Marcus Kahn told us is that they can't let Faust get his feet set at the arc. Robinson, Salvador, Chubb, Young, Burgess, and Mitchell, the 5, as Young raises. And he missed 2 for 13 from deep. They're not penetrating as often, despite a little bit of a size advantage. Jair Knight says, I don't really care who's on the
championship game in 2012. Probably still licking his wounds from what looked like a short championship that year.
Faust hits another. Little contact. The referees say not enough for a whistle.
Good no call there.
Jair Knight up and underneath. That was pretty special for Coach Zimmerman and his family. Of course, he spent some time after playing at Davidson. He coached at Evansville in Southern Indiana. It's Hassan Hamad. Emory 5 of 22, but both teams have 3 threes. Jair Knight measures, clanks it.
And there's all these other guys, but he's the one that's stirring the drink. He's the one who's put it all together.
Mary Washington 3 of 3 so far. Robinson working on a taller Owasam. Good contest.
But it's about shooting the three. The metrics saying that shoot the three, get the board, put it back in is a better opportunity than the 15-foot jump. Wasn't supporting the program. So I'm curious what Kozmowski's going to do now.
Landry was the Glenn Robinson Award winner for the National Cup. Harris tried to find Owasam in transition and a quick turnover the other way. Of course, Marcus Kahn won that award this year as Kai Robinson was playing in offensive sets. Ben Pierce hits the first foul shot. Mary Washington going a little deeper in the roster, getting lots of contributions. Young, 5 to shoot, raises his jumper, missed
it a little much. I don't know if it's an adrenaline or a shooting vision thing.
Owasam wide open, spots up. He's also sitting on an 8-rebound first half here, but gets in the scoring column with a big shot. Emory's lead on. Joined us a little late. And Brendan Gulick alongside Dave McHugh. They haven't even played in a national championship game since 1993 in field championships in athletic department history, but they're all in swimming, tennis, and golf.
They're really good at swimming.
On the left side. Baseball team, a couple national runner-up appearances, but this is the biggest basketball game in program history, both ways, as Owasam helped.
Since '93, he goes, well, we had some really good lacrosse programs, but then they ran into these programs named Middlebury and Trinity.
Colin Mitchell from the...
Especially early 2000s, but again, only semi-final appearances for them.
Mitchell back to Young, raises and hits. St. Edward High School, one of the powerhouses in Northeast Ohio. Turns it over here as Kai Robinson, the All-American, beats him off the dribble and lays it in.
Forced Mary Washington to this championship game.
High volume. Had 6 lead changes here in the first half. Mary Washington has led for most of the way. Knight raises, had a great look at it, but brick.
Right? Maybe the sight lines are still a thing. I'm a little baffled at some of the shooting woes.
Burgess.
Oh, they've got some good points. They've had some good runs. Some of their top guys are just struggling.
Bates was open. Now he'll range. Jumper from the mid-range. National championship game. Faust received a great pass and scores. Hold for the last one. They put it back on.
Yeah, because they got it in the front court.
One official had told him to take it off. The other one says put it back. Owasam was there.
Not getting that call.
A frantic end of the first half. Jair Knight. Oh, yeah! 29-3. Emory, of course, high hopes coming into the year. They thought they had a chance to be on this stage. Both teams are playing well. Here we go.
It's a string out. Wesley and then lost to Trinity in the semifinals. Trinity goes, wins the national championship. Of course, Trinity, the big three from Harris in the corner. Trinity goes and loses to Mary.
Knight, Owasam, Faust, Harris, and Pierce, the starting 5 for Georgia.
Pierce picked up his second foul. They subbed him out. Otto came in. Went that a little bit more. We'll see how they play it out.
Largest lead right now of the whole game for Emory. As they work it inside to Robinson from just south of the free throw.
You stay with it. I know they like to change up their defenses, but Robinson's killing them in there.
Goodness gracious, what happened tonight? Nobody boxed him out. He could put it back home.
Oh, wait, check out the shoes Grant's wearing. Here, reflective.
From the left side.
To finish your thought earlier, they had that run against Emory. Losing in the round of 16 is Knight for 3.
More impactful part of this second half. Played 10 minutes in the first half. He's got 4 points. It's Young from just outside the elbow. And from deep. Bounces to the right side. Salvador Young. Underneath Randall. They worked it down to the Wasp.
All in the moment, and so it's not even challengeable.
Off the inbound. Faust. Laser focused from deep. He's got another.
Suddenly, Emory up by 8, matching the biggest lead Mary Washington's had in this game.
Emory's defense has really come alive as Robinson fades.
So in the quarterfinals, came back to actually explode in the second half. They did the same against Trinity midway through the second
Faust
half.
down the right side and 16 from the free throw line. That's helped. Faust has 11 with 3 threes. Fades away, high off the glass, no sure.
More than happy to go blue collar on that.
Jay Randall. Back up top, Robinson sets himself. It hits! Has felt ignited.
Not only to reset, but ignore Faust coming on the help.
Knight with a full head of steam down the. They've hit both threes they've taken this half. 5 of 7 are UMW shooters out of the gates. On the low left, up to the free throw line out of the timeout. He'll go with his mid-post or low-post moves, which are pretty. It's bobbled and turned over. 7-0 run by UMW.
Well, Wasson looked up before he had that in his hands.
Robinson a little too now for Kai Robinson.
He wanted the contact, but he initiated the contact. They're not going to call that. But a great finish despite it.
Knight up and under. National championship game. Randall on Owasum. Mario wins that battle, but nobody. Bates, he wanted it. They'll go right back to Caden, into the corner. Mitchell measures. Oh. UMW trying to settle down here as Randall finds a lot more open space than I think he anticipated.
Randall at all on that occasion.
Into the corner, catch and shoot. The bottom, Mary Washington.
Say it again, they are not afraid of anyone or any moment.
Ben Pierce, brick.
And you don't care.
Randall. Everybody stepped away from him, so he goes around Owasum and swerve. Biggest run of the game for UMW. How will Emory respond? They put the ball in the hands of their best player, who was bumped by his friendly fire. Robinson armed with a 1-point lead. Kai goes to work. 6 to shoot. Robinson needs some help. Goes to his left, fades away, and throws it away. 5 points, all from the strike.
Mary Washington's done an amazing job on them defensively.
Owasum fades away. No, it's got 18. Those have been the big scorers. Caden Bates had to go way up top with Owasum trying to block it. Third chance.
Shooter with a 3-point play here.
Preston White, 1 of 5. Mary led for about 16 and a half minutes. Emory's had the lead for 9.5. Hamad in the corner. Must watch television. Wants to go to work on Hamad. Beats him to the post, flings it up and in. To their last 8 shots. Getting late in the national title game as Ben Pierce is off. Takes more than 1 star to win a national championship. Ben Pierce is the best player in the country. Good play, Kai Robinson.
It's because there's guys like Owasum and Knight and Faust who've hit some huge shots.
Ethan wants another. He usually likes to play fast. A little winded, perhaps. They're not pushing the tempo. A.J. Harris back down the lane and a block.
Whatever it is about basketball is about basketball, but it's about making you a better person.
Both of these coaches so invested in the personal development of their teams. As
talking about Jason Zimmerman, you can just copy and paste what I just said too.
Knight, good step back. He's got an open look. Misses it left.
He started
off just a little bit here. Still a tight game as Colin Mitchell finds Randall. Owasum contests it, didn't matter. Jay Randall lead for UMW in the Natty. From the right side, Knight 5 at the 17-minute mark, and since then it's 24-7. Mary Washington. Add 2 more. Emory's hit just 3 of its last 14 shots, and they've turned it over 6 times since that 17-minute mark. Off the window, 2. Pierce has been terrific. Robinson, meanwhile, is averaging 23 a game in the NCAA tournament, and he's got 22. Emory's not going. February, he's about 40% from behind the 3-point line. 15 and 9 tonight. He hasn't been super efficient tonight, but playing well on the stretch. Ethan and his brother Eli on the bench. A terrific season in the NCAA tournament. Has had some very big miss 6 of their last 7 shots. 3.5 minutes left to go. Pierce, nothing is going for him at all, but Jair not well.
Robinson's 80%, so is Young.
Emory, nobody even has 3 for UNW. Caden Bates buries it.
Suador are the 2 that are on the floor that Emory would really like to foul in terms of percentage.
Back to a 10-point game for just a split second.
With that, and chip into the lead.
3 today. And he'll take it. National Player of the Year, leads the country in assists, 4th in scoring. He's making an impact with 4 rebounds and 6 assists. Minutes, playing the game of his life in the national championship. Kai Robinson with a sweet little floater over the seat. Pierce feeds it off. Owasum missed it from point blank, gathered again, and was fouled.
Opportunity instead.
It's 4 fouls now on Jay Randall. As Owasum can't seem to get closer than 8 right now. They're at that depth. 3rd foul on Colin Mitchell. Nick in time, hits the first 2 and misses a 3rd. It's a 6-point game. Robinson fighting his way to the rack.
And he had in Fort Wayne.
Splits the pair. Pierce flings it over. Faust cut it off. It would have been picked off. Emory a little fortunate this possession. Ben hoists. Oh my! Mary Washington standing right on the edge, and they turn it over. Faust to Harris, who goes right to the rim and lays it in. Chubb Young to the corner. Robinson, Mitchell from a long way out. He missed it short. Colin Mitchell at the free throw line. Swish. Emory doesn't need a 3 if they can score quickly. 1 timeout. Faust to tie the game. Oh yeah! Outs. Robinson, 5 seconds. Goes to his left for the win. No, Mitchell's put back is good.